and reclaimed her place at the top.
WWE is a way of ruining things that you would never think they could. Fans saw that when AJ faced Shinsuke Nakamura and they turned it into a contest for who could hit more low blows.
Oh my God! Almost took out the official. Low blow again! From behind! Wait a minute! Shinsuke Nakamura!
Another low blow to Styles on the outside.
Oh no! Shinsuke Nakamura with another low blow!
Where'd Nakamura even come from?
Oh!
And again, Shinsuke Nakamura
To get his hands on Nakamura, this is... Another low blow!
once again.
They did it again when the Fiend faced Goldberg and lost, and they did it again this time when Becky Lynch made a return. At Money in the Bank 2020, Asuka won the briefcase. The next day, Becky called her out on Raw and told her she was the champion as Becky was relinquishing the title due to being pregnant.
Now, and as happy as you are to be the champion, I might be a little bit happier. So you go and be a warrior, because I'm gonna go be a mother.
Thus, Becky was away from the ring for a year. The time was ripe for her comeback. The crowd was ready, and on a weekly basis they were chanting for her to return. Once she did, WWE managed to make it such a bad return that fans are calling her return a fail. This is Wrestling Up, and here are the reasons why Becky Lynch's return to WWE has failed. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Up and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. At SummerSlam, fans expected Becky to announce her return and possible intention to challenge for the title she never lost, the Raw Women's Championship. That same night, fans were going to see Charlotte Flair challenge for the title against Rhea Ripley and Nikki ASH. Even though Becky had been away, she had not been drafted and was naturally a part of the Raw brand. While fans expected her to return either at SummerSlam or the night after, her return turned out to be something that WWE could have planned long in advance, but decided to shoehorn her into a SmackDown feud instead. From the beginning, the extreme lack of planning when it came to Becky's return was obvious. They had decided she would fill in instead of having a long-term story ready for their biggest women's star, throwing away the cares of any fan. Not only did Becky's return take place on the wrong brand, it took place without planning. Having her return to face Bianca Belair, one of the top faces on the roster, was a questionable choice. Both were faces, it didn't make sense. On top of that, the plan was put together last minute. Originally, the SmackDown Women's title was supposed to be defended by Belair against Sasha Banks. For whatever reason, Banks had to pull out. With a week in hand until the pay-per-view, WWE decided to bring back Becky in that spot. Bianca was given a match against Carmella, a match that no one wanted to see. On top of that, before the match could begin, they decided to bring Becky back to take out Carmella. Fans were completely behind her. If they had kept it at this point and not done anything more, it might have even worked out. Instead, out of nowhere, she challenged Bianca to a match for the SmackDown Women's belt. Before Bianca was ready, she assaulted her, taking her out and winning the championship immediately. WWE's booking was so poor that they didn't even let the two wrestle for more than a few seconds, as this took away her credibility and the sheen of her return to the company after so long. Before Becky Lynch left, she was the top face of the women's division. However, she returned and squashed Belair in a match that Bianca was not ready for, immediately sending a message that she was not back as a fan favorite. PW Insider confirmed Lynch squashing Belair was Vince's call. Since then, Lynch has been displaying more heel characteristics, something that has taken away from what could have been a fun return. As always in WWE, it's almost like the chairman punished fans for caring about Lynch. Becky Lynch, when leaving, had handed over her title to Asuka, who then became Raw Women's Champ. The moment was an emotional one, and she went on to have one of the best years in her WWE career, defending the title again and again before losing it. The fact that she lost it and didn't hold on to it until Becky returned could have easily been turned into a storyline. Instead, WWE chose not to run with it. They waited too long and Asuka was put out of action with an injury to her hand. For the moment, it's unsure when she will return. The prospective feud between the two, with Becky saying Asuka could not hold on to the belt while she was gone, could have been one that would have helped put both stars over. The first plan for Becky to return, according to Ringside News, was at WrestleMania 37. There were originally plans for her to return at Mania 37 in a storyline. Lynch herself had teased it on social media, however she never appeared. Lynch was supposed to drive a large truck into the Raymond James Stadium and interrupt Bayley's segment. Bayley would go on to mock fans when it didn't happen, but that was the actual plan. I think it's just wishful thinking. I think it's just people ready to see Becky back and ready to see me get my butt kicked, I guess. But that's not going to happen because she didn't come back, suckers. Despite being two of the four horsewomen, the two women have never really faced in singles competition. Bayley was certain that it would happen in time. Were Becky to have returned and challenged Bayley, even if they had been on different brands, that would have been an interesting angle. However, according to Ringside News, the return of Mania was discussed and prepared, but not decided on, and eventually WWE did not go through with it because they thought that it would be better if the Bella twins interrupted and attacked Bayley. The twins were hated and booed, making for a rather awkward few moments as they were supposed to be faces being inducted into the Hall of Fame. This was a disaster, and whoever decided that the Bellas were a better idea than Lynch did not know anything about what the crowd wanted. Even if the interruption didn't happen at Mania, had it happened later, things would have been fine. Unfortunately, due to an injury to Bayley, she will be missing from action for a few more months, so she ended up challenging Bianca. It's easy to see the hype surrounding Lynch has not only dissipated, but WWE as always didn't know what to do with one of the best characters on their roster. During the second night of the draft, SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch announced herself as the first pick that night for Monday Night Raw. While she's been more vocal since becoming the man on Legion of Raw, Vince Russo did not have much good to say about her. Listen, I don't know what people have convinced themselves of, and I've been saying this for years and years and years. Becky Lynch is supposed to be so over, but from the very first time I saw her on NXT until tonight, so how long is that, Chris? I saw her in NXT, how long is that? Okay, all that time, Becky Lynch cannot cut a promo. She cannot. She is terrible at cutting promos. She is so over the top cutting promos. She is terrible. I'm sorry, man. I'm telling you from a professional point of view. And if it were me, I would be running Becky, because her promos should be a lot better than they are. A lot better than they are. I'm sorry, man. I'm just being honest. And these were reasons why Becky Lynch's return has failed. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.